Welcome, welcome everyone to our Family Talk Friday. It's absolutely a pleasure having everyone here with us this evening. My name is Tanya. I am a proud chairperson of the GW3 Warriors. But this evening we have some incredible guests. And I'm going to introduce this incredible guest that is impacting the world. Her name is Adelita. Adelita is currently a nurse practitioner, but she's also the CEO and coach of a lifestyle coaching company. What she's doing, she's teaching others how to become a healthier you. And we're so excited that you're here this evening to dive into our amazing topic. Now, we also have another incredible guest, an incredible queen. She is a caregiver. She's passionate about what she does. She's empowering, but not only just empowering the elderly community, she's also taking care of them because there's such a need. But her skill, her art, and her passion, she's an incredible artist. Her name is Queen Yolanda. She moves through her artwork, and here they go. Welcome, welcome, ladies. Welcome, Adelita, and welcome, Queen Yolanda. Welcome to our Family Talk Friday. Now, how are you ladies doing? How was your week? How are you doing?
Well, Tanya, I must say I have had an amazing week. We kicked off our health and healing series here in our GW3 club, and we closed it down this week. And we were able to pour into each other and heal together. And I felt like we had this empty toolbox in the beginning, but by the end of the session today, we had a toolbox full of different tools as far as healing. And we just were our true selves and we were able to get to know one another more and more. So I feel great. I can't wait until we dive into this segment. It's been a while and I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much, Queen Yolanda, for being here. And your week sounds absolutely amazing. You were diving into healing and also celebrating. And I thank you so much for being here. Now we have an amazing Queen, Adelita. Adelita, how was your week?
Hey, ladies, thank you for having me here. Such a great topic. My week has been fabulous. Love the topic on how to raise confident children, which is such a big thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Talking about this week, I actually spent so much time with my grandkids, actually. So that kind of gave me a lot of feedback onto what's about to come. I'm so proud to be a new member of GW3. Proud to be in the community and looking forward to grow and supporting each other as we grow.
Thank you so much, Adelita. It seems as if you had an incredible week. I can't believe you're grandma. You're pretty young over there, grandma. That's amazing that you were able to see your grandchildren this week. Now, let's dive into our topic. Our topic is absolutely amazing, and I'm excited about this topic because, confidence is one thing, but, raising children with confidence is another aspect. If we can start really early, we'll have a lot of confident adults out here, right? So, how do we raise confident children? And what are the steps that we need to take as mothers and as fathers to raise confident children? I'm a mother of two, an incredible 17-year-old that's getting ready to take off to college, and an amazing 15-year-old that's in 10th grade. And every day, no matter what they do, I empower them. Okay. You look really cute in that shirt, David. And as Tatiana Combs are here, I said, wow, your hair looks absolutely beautiful. And when they bring their grades home, I also dive into that. You did a great job. You worked hard. So, what are the steps you incredible mothers are taking to really build and raise confident children? Take it away, Queen Yolanda.
You know that I am a Gigi, so I have been around this parenting. Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. As I was saying, you know, I've been around this parenting, blessed parenting scenario for some time. And I am a great grandmother now. So I believe, first and foremost, I've raised my children up in the way in which they should go. And in my house, we serve the Lord, number one. I also instilled in them to be confident. The confidence started, I want to say, okay, my two daughters were 14 months apart. My son, he was a year and a half. Okay. So, you know, we call the knee baby, the one in the middle, you know, feels a little, insulted sometimes. And, you know, they feel like, hey, you came and took my mother, and, you know, the older one. Well, I built up confidence in each and every one of them because they have their special characters about them and their own little unique gifts and, you know, their little personalities. So I make sure that they have confidence. And in building that confidence, they're able to, as toddlers, they went from toddlers to teenagers. And we know, I'm sure you understand that, Tanya, how hard it is with teenagers. However, you know, I believe building that confidence in them as smaller children has helped them along the way in their adult lives. And, you know, I always encourage them to be grateful for everything. No matter what comes your way, you can do it. And to always search to do positive things and to be around positive people. So that's one of the many things that I've done as a parent.
Awesome, awesome, Queen Yolanda. You know what I loved about your share? You started from the toddler age. I mean, I had the privilege of meeting your daughters, and I had the privilege of really bonding with one of your daughter. And let me tell you, when that young lady walks, she walks with confidence. She speaks with it, and even when she greets you, you can see it. And it all started from you, Yolanda. And then you also dived into the fact that you place Christ first in your home. You know, it is so important that our children know the importance of having a relationship with Christ, and also knowing that once you have that relationship, you know whose you are. Okay. So nothing stops you. You should be just, you know, igniting the world. And I see you went on to the fact that you have grandbabies too. Are you a grandma? Don't tell me that, Queen Yolanda. You're looking
I'm a grandma and a great grandma. I have 7 grandchildren and 2 great grandchildren. And I'm telling you, grandparenting is one of the most amazing parts of the golden years. And I just enjoy it. I really do.
absolutely incredible. And I can see that glow and that joy in you, Queen Yolanda. And I
Thank
thank
you.
you again for your share. And for that being said, I'm going to move the microphone over to Queen Adelita. Adelita. Okay, do
That's
apologize for the front. You can go ahead, Adel.
That's Adelita. All right. So I love what Yolanda said just now. You know, raising children, being grateful, gratitude is one of the biggest things. And in my process, I've got 3 grown kids. My oldest is 32 and my youngest is 25, 26. Somewhere around there. I stopped counting after a while because after a while you just can't keep up. You know how that go, ladies. So you know, growing confident kids. How do we do this? That's the question we kind of have to ask ourselves. Because what we fail to realize sometimes in raising children, we fail to realize how are we showing up? How are we showing up in our homes? What are we projecting to them? And like you mentioned earlier to Yolanda, is that, you know, do you support them? Do you encourage them?
Yolanda?
Yes, I'm here.
We're hearing a really bad echo with Jamie. I'm not sure if Jamie still have her phone on. We need to have her to turn her volume down because it's a very bad echo in the clubhouse.
Thank you, Queen Renee. We're taking care of it.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to the topic is
You
that
turn it down a little bit more. Just turn it all the way down because we're using the mic from the studio.
What's that? The phone, you mean?
Yes, please.
It's completely off. So
Thank you, Queen Adelita. Okay.
It's completely off. I just turned it off then. You still getting that echo?
Yes, we still are getting the echo, and I'm wondering if it's from my phone. Can you hear the echo when I'm speaking?
No, we need your...
No.
Yes.
Echo.
Okay.
And Tanya, your volume is down as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mine is completely off. My phone is off. My volume is off, and it's completely off of the mic. So
tell her to turn the volume down off of her computer.
Yes. Can you turn the volume down from your computer?
How about now?
A little better.
You still having the echo?
Yes, there's still an echo.
So I guess I'm gonna leave the chat room.
Volume. Adelita.
Huh?
Can you repeat that?
On the clubhouse, the volume is off. So are you hearing it now?
That's much better.
So I just came out of the club room. I'm just on the live. So I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Well, we will continue.
Okay. Yes. Technical difficulties will not stop the jam. Okay. All right. So I was saying, you know, how do we show up? How are we showing up? In what vibration are we showing up? Because raising confident kids is super important to show up vibrationally empowered. Confidence doesn't just come from, you know, what we're doing in our present environment, but what we're doing in ourselves. What happens is as we grow up and kids, we make meaning of things. We need to have some type of a meaning. So as kids, we experience something, and that thing has to have a meaning for us. That experience that we get has to have a meaning and has to keep us either safe, secure, and belong. These are our survival mechanism. We have to make sure those things are intact. So, for example, if maybe we come home and we're really tired from work, even if we don't say anything and we walk in our home and our child is there, that child can pick up that feeling. Haven't you walked in the room and sometimes you can literally tell, oh, I feel like they don't like me here. The energy is super, super important. And a lot of the times when a child feels that, they make a meaning from it. They interpret that in their own way. And that meaning that they make becomes a belief. And that belief allows them to become the identity, the person they are. So it's super important as far as how we show up. And even if we're tired, and even if we're upset, or whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that we're paying attention to them too. Give them some sort of a comfort. It's okay, baby. It's not you. It's not your fault. I love you. Let them feel safe and secure in their home. And it's so crazy, not only from in our home, but from school. So some stuff are inevitable because they meet other people that carry certain energies and they feel that thing, and then they make a belief from it, and it means that it's them, because kids always either want to be the solution to a problem or will be the problem in the hope to make it the solution. So they will always be doing that. And so it's very important as they grow up, and our most vital years is between the age of birth and sometimes inside the womb up until the age of 7 to 10. These are imaginary world, meaning making machines. And any meaning that is made from that time up until 12, they grow up believing that thing. So for example, your child walks up to you and you're on the phone and she's, mommy, I want this or I want that. And you don't pay her attention at that moment, not saying that you're doing something wrong, but that child will make a meaning from that. It might mean to that child is like, well, I'm not lovable. They don't care about me. I'm not good enough, or some meaning that they take with them along the way. Not and half the time it's just a thought, and that thought is a lie. And until we can reflect back to that, then that child can become confident, because then they know where it's coming from, and understanding the whole birthright system that we have, because that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. The God-given birthright, what the divine gave us. We forgot all of those, so we just try to grab meanings from everything else. But I'll give it back to you, ladies. What's your takeaway on that?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adelita. I mean, you pointed out some great tips, okay? Our energy, when we step in our home, I always check myself before I step in my home, okay? If I'm on my cell phone, it's a habit, and I have exercised that habit. I actually get off my phone before stepping in. Now, it's important that we give our children those attention, because what's happening is that when you don't give them the attention from home, they go out in society and they seek it from the wrong individuals, right? And then if we have daughters, right, as mothers, we have to emulate that positive self-image and confidence in our young ladies. It's so super important, and we have to just continuously motivate them on everything. And the other part, it's important for building children with confidence, is that we have to have a talk with our children, because as you mentioned, Adelita, you said that sometime when they go to school, you never know exactly what they hear or what someone says to them. Just one word to a child can make a lifetime impact. There's so many stories that we'll hear from adults that one person said this when I was a child, but it's important that we reiterate the conversation, those positivity, because there's so much distractions in the world. Now, as we move and dive into our topic, why is self-confidence so important for children? Why should we start at a young age? What impact will it have on our future generation? Take it away, Queen Yolanda.
Thank you, Queen Tanya. I would like to actually back up on what Adelita said, because I believe it starts with us. And it's children are definitely products of their environment. And they depend on us, just like I depended on my mother. And one thing I can say, that my mother never used profanity in the house. They're watching us and they can hear us while they're in the womb. So the environment starts there. And, being a single parent, we can have so much to deal with. I'm speaking from my experience as a young mother. I gave birth to my son at almost 16 years old. But thank God I had my mother like Adelita says, around to show me how to be a kind mother to myself, because I was very broken when I had my son. And so I wanted to love him because of my brokenness. And so what I still do, we have conversations, and I, like you say, you want them to be able to come to you. So you have to be that listener. You have to have that patience. And it doesn't come easy. You know, you have to ask God, give me patience, because you have three little toddlers running around. One may be, you know, just outgoing. The other one may be a little stubborn. And the other one might be just a crybaby. So you have to really dig deep into yourself and put yourself in that child's position. And the way that I did raising my children is I always speak about little Yolanda. Go back and forgive that little child, and still forgive the older child right now, each and every day. You know, and with that, we're able to communicate more with, number one, ourselves and our family, because they depend on us. And I believe we lost Queen Tanya, but we'll keep going on. And I see the beautiful Rose has joined us. Welcome. Such a beautiful soul in our room. And now to get to meet you and see your face, Rose, what a blessing. And I see that Tanya has come back, and I will turn it over to Tanya.
Awesome. Thank you so much for an amazing share, Queen Yolanda. I mean, you always just dive into it. And you know what's beautiful about your experience is that when you had your incredible son, it was at a very tender age, right? And let's look at it. Let's face the facts, right? Imagine a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old having a baby. The pressure that we get from society, right? But because of your incredible mom, your mom poured into you so you can replicate her, right? So it's important that we as mothers and as fathers remind ourselves, or also demonstrate that it starts from home. Children are going to run into these hiccups. They're going to run into all sort of stuff, but we have to be that backbone. That one is there, the one that's going to be there to open your arms to them, right? Because look at Queen Yolanda right now with her amazing son. I'm sure they say you guys look like brother and sister, right? I know, I know. And that's beautiful. And now your son is looking at you like, Mom, you are amazing. Because of you, I am the man I am today. Now we have an amazing queen in the house, Queen Rose. Welcome, welcome to Family Talk Friday. And you know what we're diving into. We are building confident children. Now, how do you empower your children or your child as they grow up? Take it away, Queen Rose.
I think you need to unmute.
All right. You know, we love technology. So while Queen Rose,
I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off of Yolanda here, Tanya, if you don't mind me doing that. So Yolanda, I mean, when you said forgive that child, and also forgiving your parents for what they didn't know, it's super, super important. And I can only imagine when you did that, how things just started to shift for you, because you're forgiving, and it forgives and it clears this path for even your children. And along with that, I want to say too that I had to learn the hard way, which made me appreciate things so much more, because sometimes we impose our beliefs and our ideas on our kids and want them to be how we want them to be, and we don't allow them and support them in what they want to do. Now, how did I learn this? One day my son was done from high school and he was ready for college, and one day he said, "Ma, I want to go to this specific college because, well, I'm going to be the doctor. You said you wanted me to be a doctor, blah, blah, blah." So I go in and I get a loan. I paid for him to go to college, for him to be in college for 2 months. He drops out and he say he doesn't feel like he wants to do that anymore. I was like, "Well, really? This is what you're going to do to me now?" I said, I made this loan, I paid this thing, now you go to school, and now you said you was going to do that. I said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm done." So he's like, "Ma, would you listen to me for a minute?" I said, "Okay." He said, "You say you do everything for us, but is that really true? Did you ever ask us what we wanted as opposed to what you wanted? Did you ever ask if I really wanted to do that, or what did I want to do?" And that really hit home for me, because we are imposing, from my experience, most of us as parents want our kids to be this thing. What do they want to be? How can they be confident doing something that they really internally don't want to do? How can they walk out there and be confident doing something they love? And now I can speak for that, because now I have three kids now. 3 of them are entrepreneurs. 2 of them own their own business. The same one that dropped out from college owns his own business. Completely different from what mama wanted. That was what he wanted. And he's now confident and flourishing, both of them in the tattoo industry, and my daughter as a financial advisor. They're confident doing that because it's something that comes from within. It's not what I imposed in them. So I highly encourage raising confident kids come from allowing them to enter within, do what they want to do or they love to do. All we have to do is guide them, because they'll find that. So that's my take on creating confident kids. The only way they will be confident is if you allow them to do what they do, because they will step into it with their powers. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Adelita, for such an incredible share. You're so right. There are many times that we as parents, we wanted to be a doctor, we wanted to be a lawyer, we wanted to be a pilot, and then something didn't work out, right? And then here comes our beautiful children. And now we're going to say, okay, I didn't be that pilot, so now I want my kids to be a pilot. That doesn't work. We want to make sure our children grow out their own passion and their own mission. And that helps them, because what happened is that when we impose our lifestyle on them, because they are their own unique person, and that's what Queen Yolanda had mentioned earlier, that everyone, the first, the second, and the third, they're all uniquely different, okay? And they all have unique gifts and skills, and that's what we want to do. We want our children to explore their gift, explore their unique gifts in many, many ways, and then they'll be able to dive into careers and skills that they passionately love, and they'll have a lifetime enjoyment in their career. It's really, really big. So I thank you so much for that amazing share, Adelita. Now, how do we raise confident kids? One, the first thing we want to also do, we want to channel their passion. What are they passionate about? And then how do we find out they're passionate about something? They may be a great artist. Every second you see them in a corner sketching something, they will become incredible artists. They may be a caregiver. You know, it starts from a young age. I remember when I was younger, I'll be combing my doll's hair. It starts from little things. So we look at things like that. Or I used to shower my doll at least 5 times per day. I'd be I'll be showering the doll hair, washing the hair. And my mom said, Tanya, I know you're going to be a nurse. There's no way you're not going to be a nurse. So it starts. So we look at those tiny things, okay? But those are lifetime skills. Now, the other thing we want to do with our children is make sure we are creating leaders. We need so much more leaders, okay? We want to reduce the followers. So we want to empower them to become leaders. The other one is always to provide a positive reinforcement. Appreciate what they did. Did they do the dishes at 2 o'clock instead of 6 or 10 before bed? Thank you so much for doing the dishes. You go into their room, it's all clean and neat. Oh man, you cleaned up. Great job. High five. And then you reward them with different things. The other one we want to do, we want to teach them how to be grateful. It's really, really important because especially here in the US, our children are so privileged. They only know, if they only know what happens in the other part of the world, we got to show them that everything you want to be grateful for. Those are the little tips that we as parents can do to empower our children. When it comes on to leadership, why is it so important that we create leaders in our little precious lives, our children? Why is it so important that we start helping them to become leaders? Take it away, Yolanda.
Well, I believe that at an early age, and I know I did this, just always ask my children, what do you want to be when you grow up? They may not be doing it now, but they are successful. But like you said, Adelita, we have to encourage them to be their very best at what they love, not what we want them to do. I was one of those kids. My mother wanted me to be a nurse. I didn't want to be a nurse. I wanted to be a secretary. And I tried it out for a week and it didn't work for me. And she was a little disappointed. And I did feel, the passion and, the concern for my mother. And I learned then that I would never force my children to be anything that they didn't want to be, but just to be their true, authentic selves. And I believe in pruning and structuring our children to become leaders. We want them to be leaders, but they're leaders when they're little. We have to instill in them that you are a leader. You don't follow. That's one of the things that I raise my children to make sure that you're making the right decisions when you're in school with other people, because you can get into some problems that you don't necessarily need. So I think it's very important to instill in them to be their best. That's how they become leaders. And also, I think it's very important for us to remind them that it's okay if things don't go perfectly. That's how you become a leader, because you're going to go through trials and different, situations where you have to make decisions. So when we raise them, I think it's important to remind ourselves, slow it down. This is your child's future. And if you want them to be a leader, you start telling them that they are a leader from a little thing. And, my middle daughter, she's a leader. She has this amazing confidence, and the other two as well. But I wanted them to be where they are and be happy and content. So I think it's very important to raise them from a little thing to be leaders.
Awesome, Queen Yolanda. That was such an amazing share. You highlighted that it's important that we raise them as leaders from their younger. But you know what's really unique about your share is that you could spot check your kids, right? You know that the middle one is going to be a leader because it's even the small things, the smallest things. You can see that she was the go-getter and she's getting the pat go. So as parents, we have to also pause, as you said, Queen Yolanda, slow down and see these skills, because these are leadership skills that our children are embracing as they grow. Now, Queen Adelia, what do you think about raising children to become leaders? What are your thoughts on that? Take it away, Adelita.
Yes, Tanya. Yolanda, powerful. That's powerful as kids. I want to add to that. So, as a coach, and from my knowledge and transformation, there's a foundation about transformation, and it's so crazy how we have lost touch with who we really are,
Mhm.
and we are leaders before we are even born. As a matter of fact, our birthright to exist here shows us that we're leaders. Our right to take action shows us that we're leaders. We are born with these rights. How do we know we're born with the right to take action? Because number one, to even make you or me, there was this one egg that had so much cells that ran to an egg, and there was one that made it to that egg, and it was you or me. That right there determines we are leading. We took that action. We keep taking action. We came to this earth. What did we do? We took the action to come here. So from the jump, we have action to take, and we're leaders. The thing that happens to us when we get here upon this earth, here comes somebody who has been robbed from that energetically, or from someone saying, "Oh my God, I'm having a kid now. How am I going to take care of him?" Blah, blah, blah. So they feel that now they feel like their right to exist wasn't valid anymore. So now, as kids, they look for that everywhere, forgetting that, hey, you are a leader regardless. So going back to that natural form, that innate you, the you that you've been, and keep telling that to them.
Mhm.
You are a leader. Give them responsibility. Let them take action and do something for them and feel good about it. Let them make mistakes, because if they don't make mistakes, how are they going to grow? You know, be there to guide them, not saying to let them go and get themselves in trouble. I mean, of course, that's not what we want, but allow them. And like you said, Tanya, watch what they do. My son, he used to go to school, and every single page in his book had some type of a drawing. And I'd be like, "You didn't do no schoolwork today?" He's like, "I left it at school." He brought home the book that had drawing in it. And now what is he doing? He's a muralist, he's a painter, he's a tattoo artist. He does everything in art. But I didn't fight him. That's what you like? Here, I brought you some books, I brought you some more pencils. Still do your homework though. You can do it. And encourage them. And once they step into that they love, that they're passionate about, how can they not be confident? How? It's impossible. No, and allowing them to know that they are great leaders before they even got here.
Mhm.
That's key. All right, that's my take for that, guy.
I love it.
I love it, Adelita. I mean, when we pay attention to our kids, just like when your son came home with his entire book of art, I'm sure you're looking at him, boy, you went to school, this is all you did. But guess what? That was the artist in the making. So now look at him today, a phenomenal person who is doing amazing tattoo, because tattoo is an incredible art. So those little things we have to pay attention when it comes on to our children. Now, what are the things that we as mothers and fathers can do to build confident kids within the home? Let's keep it simple. What are the things? One of the things that we do in our home is that if my daughter has like a project, or my son has a project, whether it be a poem or anything that you're going to present, they have to present it from home. So now we are the audience before they go to school. And then as they recite in front of us, we're able to say, "Oh my God, that was amazing. Let's video it." So we do all of those things. So those Those small things that we can do at home really build self-confidence. The other thing that I also do, when I step out, if we're at a restaurant, we're ordering, oh yeah, you're going to order your entire meal. I want to start it from the beginning to the end and also thank the waitress. So have them speak out loudly, because, sometimes kids are really quiet. It's not just because they're quiet or they're shy. Sometimes they're not encouraged to exercise their thoughts verbally. So it's really, really important that we encourage them. And when they do it, you say, great job. That was amazing. So ladies, what are the things that you're doing within your home, no matter how simple it is, to build self-confidence within your children? Take it away, Queen Adelita.
So yes, Tanya, I would say continue supporting them. Support. Be there for them. Next key thing, listen. Because we listen to reply. We don't listen to understand. We listen to make them wrong. We don't listen to them to understand them. Understand, how do they feel? What are they thinking? What's going on in their little mind? Because they have creative minds. They're gonna create something regardless. So why don't we allow them and support them to be the creative person in their own life with what they are meant to be, who they're meant to be. Let them shine through their own eyes and not our eyes. Again, like I said, what do they like? Pay attention. When they say something, listen. How do they feel? Get curious. Okay, baby, this happened? Oh, really? What happened? How did it happen? What did you see? How did you feel? What did you feel? What do you want? As opposed to, why did you do that? Go to your room. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it shuts them down. It shuts their creativity down. So how can they be confident if they have to hold it all in? They're most of the time when we do that, they sit in the corner and be like, that's what they are. But if they're heard and you're listening to assist them in whatever way they might want to be able to be assisted, then they'll be more open and be more like, okay, yes, mommy, I can do this. Oh, which can we do this? Or how is this? They're never wrong. Kids are never wrong. We are the wrong ones because we don't listen to them. Because we've been through certain things, we impose that on them and we say they're wrong. What if they're right? What if their little thoughts is what they're creating? Get curious. Speak with them. Listen to them. Understand them. Not speak to them, but with them. That's my take there, Tanya.
Awesome, Adelita. I mean, that listening, it's nothing like a listening parent. Listening to them, their ideas are just as important as us, right? And we can learn so much from our children, right? And when we hear from them, we're able to impact them. We're able to uplift them. We're able to reward them. But it's really, really important that we're pausing and listening. Now, with that being said, we're going to have Queen Yolanda give us some tips, because she looks like she's the expert here. She's a great grandma.
So I'm not the expert.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't say the expert. I have some experience, but we all have our own experiences. I believe in being more involved. I still get involved with my teenage grandson. He spends the summer with us. And if he has an assignment, I get involved. I become that student and I give him ideas, because you have to lift up their interest, because kids are going through a lot in school with this pandemic and all the stuff around them, seeing us go through, the channels of life. I like to get more involved to build that trust with our children. And, he may have a science project and I'll just dig in and, I'll be his side person, and, he enjoys that. They want us involved. They want us to listen to them, and to have patience with them. And also with my great granddaughter, I just believe in encouraging children, little ones, because she's 6 and she's been bullied. And that's one of the things that we don't want our children to experience. And so when she is with me sometimes and she'll tell me about this little kid, and, I encourage her to know that what she's going through is not her fault. And to realize that the person that is bullying her has some deeper problems. And just to continue to, make us aware. We have to make sure that our children are coming to us and they feel safe enough to tell us anything. And that's the relationship. Some people say it's a girlfriend and a sister type of relationship. I don't call it that. I call it, you can come to me about anything, no matter what. Even my grandchildren, like my older grandchildren, come to us so that we can support you. If you need something, let us know. Don't walk around with this chip that's on your shoulder like you don't need to ask and you can't ask. So they know they can call me any time of night and say, Grandma, Abuela, Gigi, we need you. Or can we just talk? And no matter what, I humble myself and say, you know what? I'm just grateful that I have been blessed at a young age to have these grandchildren with me and that they want to come to me. So I know it's hard as being parents, because we have our responsibilities as far as one, having to go to work, having to provide for them. But in the long run, it pays off because now my son, he was kind of, boys are kind of tough, because they have that leadership in them already. But now he's 44 and he comes to me and he's this big bear and he says, you know what, Mom, I love you. Thank you for always being there for me and showing me right from wrong. I didn't always see it, but I'm grateful. So even though it gets tough sometimes, when we have a good communication level with our children and just accept them for who they are, no matter what choices they make, we can help them to get through those choices. So I'll yield the mic because I see we have Rose here with us.
Please tell me.
Yes.
What a subject. So I have one boy. He's 13. He's the happiest, most confident child that I have ever known. No, I didn't have that. I looked to my parents as an inspiration to what I'd never want to be. Long story short, I had custody of my niece when she was 3 and fell pregnant with my son a few weeks after losing her. But my son talks to me about absolutely anything. He's been bullied. We moved schools. In fact, we moved cities. He's come out as gay, which was quite something at the age of 12. But we have like a little Morse code. He is 100% himself. He didn't know he had a TV at the age of 5. He didn't have a mobile phone until last year. He reads every single day. He'll complete a book. Today he's reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He wrote his own book. He owns his style. He wears pink. He I can't tell you how confident this boy is. And a lot of that, I believe, comes from being so open with him. He's always been and always will be my everything. But I believe that we have to speak truth to our children It's a dangerous world. And I work with children in care, and I see all kinds of terrible stuff. So I remember him coming to me about the birds and the bees and asking how he was made. And Daddy was like, "You were born by a stork. You were delivered by a stork." And I said, no. So I sat him down, and I think, yeah, he must have been about 6. And I told him everything. I told him the slang name. I tell him now, you know, there's nothing I won't tell my child. If he comes to me and he does all the time and he wants to know something, I'm going to tell him the truth. He's very focused. He's very open-minded. He's exploring the world at the moment. But as parents, we've got to be on the same page. I'm lucky that his dad, met him when I was 18. I'm 43 now, so we're a good team. We both agree on the boundaries. He will be down in a minute because it's reaching that time where he has to put his phone in the kitchen overnight. So he does that without question. What can I say? We should got to pour love into our children and let them be themselves. His dad very much firefighter. Was excited about having a boy playing football, and Bo doesn't like football. He doesn't like PE. He loves his history. He loves to study. He loves his homework. Like his favourite day, I said, the library. And his dad probably read a book in his life. So I just think it's amazing. This is a great chance to big my angel up. but I see lots of children struggling that can't speak to their parents because their parents are, no, you need to be like this, or you need to speak like that, or behave like that. And I'm not allowed to use the word no at work. And I get that. And at first I thought, how can I not say no? But it's very easy. You can say, how about we approach this differently? And what are you doing right now? Let's have a look at this. To be honest, I've never had to say no to Bo, really. He's never uttered a swear word. He's very aware of the kids I look after, troubles that are out there in our dangerous world right now. So he's happy having, apps he has to ask permission for on his phone. He's not got any of this TikTok, or I don't even know what the games are myself. He's got no computer games apart from Lego. But he was a hard baby, and they say that we have a hard baby, you get a better teenager. So I'm hoping the hardest years were over.
That is absolutely beautiful, Queen Rose. I tell you, you highlight some very, very important tips where you spoke about communication and also empowering your children. It starts from a younger age. And once we can start from a young age, we'll have incredible adults out here, or incredible future kids, right?
Sorry, Renee, he's talking about Oxford. He's talking about wanting to be a forensic scientist. He's on another level. He will come home and we'll sit there for 5 hours and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, more homework. I'm like, you've done your homework. He's like, but I can do more and I can get positives. And literally tonight was his report, which is unbelievable. So, yeah, and I think the no TV, you see 2-year-olds, I don't know about over there, like scrolling on iPads, and I don't get it, and I won't allow it, and I never would. But he doesn't even have the interest. He just gets that life is more, and he wants to change the world himself and be a leader of some description himself. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, Queen Rose. And you know, from your takeaway, we're getting ready to wrap up our amazing segment. But I realized that you highlighted a really important book for our children, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a really encouraging book that, you know, young men have them read it. It's really, really super,
They
super
have one for
important.
kids and
Yes.
teenagers.
Yes. So the whole series is really, really important that we have our children read these books to empower them and also to build their confidence. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank our amazing Queen Yolanda, who poured into this segment unlimitedly, and also Queen Rose and Queen Adelia. Before we close, we always close with a final thought from each incredible mom. Take it away, Queen Yolanda.
One thing I wanted to add is to make sure that we raise our children not to be judgmental and not to be insecure and to respect others.
Thank you, Queen Yolanda. Take it away, Queen Adelia.
Yes, ladies. My last words is just continue to support your kids, listen to them, support them in what they like, and not say, but let them get in trouble. Of course not. But, you know, teach them how to be grateful. Being grateful as opposed to being in the negative side. You know, we tend to, as parents, we tend to be uh, uh, we speak negativity to them as opposed to positive. So stay on the positive side. Be more grateful as opposed to, oh, I don't like doing the dishes. Be more like, you know what? I love it when you do the dishes. You know, clean up so nicely. Give them gratitude, 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 and see how much more they'll be confident, and you'll be able to get more out of them and for them to do more for themselves. That's what I got, ladies.
For me, it would be all of that. And my biggest thing for Bo is to be kind and not judge, that he doesn't know what others are going through, and to always listen to him. I can judge him and I judge him. I know when something's going on with my son, and to just let them know they can always come to you, and you are not going to love them no matter what. You're going to always be there and love them with your whole heart. Nothing is going to change that.
Awesome. This has been such an incredible, incredible evening of Family Talk Friday. And with that being said, let's continue to empower, encourage our amazing kids in everything that they do. And also remind also in everything that they do, make sure that we're just encouraging them. Let them know that how wonderful they are, because they are a gift of God. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of our Family Talk Friday. Enjoy your weekend, hug on your kids, and continue to empower each and every child in your household. Take it away, Queen Renee.